Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child along the way. I met words that took me in, better words for me, the words I deserved, words that not only heard but listened out for me, words that welcomed me in. More than my next of kin, they prepared a place for me. Womb words, they birthed me. Raven words, they fed me. Transcendent words, they repositioned me. Like angels, words heralded my arrival. This was the birth announcement I needed. If not for words, then who would bear witness to me? Who would ever know that I existed? Few photographs and no photographic memory. This family gathers around and forms sentences that encourage me. You have a purpose, they say. We will never leave you, they say. We are proud to be connected to you, they say. And so, I write in hopes of paying them back for every letter they gave me. Always on the tip of my tongue, they are never far away. I can depend on the words to come to me. They remain faithful, thicker than blood. They are the tie that binds me, like an umbilical cord. So when I feel motherless, I can lay my head on a book or sit down at a coffee shop and sup from prose or poetry. It was the language that parented me, guided me, introduced me to myself because I was a long way from home. This is why I believe in miracles and divine intervention, because the right words got to me. They bookmobiled their way to me. The words I needed to hear found me despite all the words that tried to get ahead of me, that surrounded me, that were piled on top of me. Hand-me-down words, curse words, all false prophets. Those tongues rose and fell when I found my own. So I open my mouth wide, and so long as I have breath in my body, though I often speak in parables, because it's never safe to say the truth, because people can choke from a grain, a kernel of truth, because it is safe to say that it is safer to live a lie than cry. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. And Jesus might have been singing this same blues, though tuned in absence of his stepfather Joseph. Down through 42 generations, he is included in the story of Jesus, but not without hesitation. Belly bump not included, as they are only engaged. A family ready-made is not what he signed up for. Understandably, Joseph has sized Mary up, swollen ring finger and an untimely gut. No need to do the math. None of this will ever add up because there is another +1. It makes no difference if it's the Word made flesh. This is not Joseph's baby. But he doesn't lose his cool, and instead he figures out a way to settle the matter away from prying eyes, save her the shame and him the explanation. He was unwilling to make her uncomfortable. Her clothes were already a tight fit with Jesus squeezing in. Joseph was unwilling to make Mary a public example. No pointing fingers from him. Instead, he plans to call the engagement off, turn his alarm clock on, problem solved. Then an angel visits him in a dream and delivers a message. The herald gets in between Joseph's ears and says, "Joseph, son of David, Do not be afraid to take Mary as your wife, for the child conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit. She will bear a son, and you are to name him Jesus, for he will save his people from their sins." The word is being fulfilled, but still no word from Joseph.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Lord, Lord.
This story is a kind of silent treatment of a birth narrative. Even so, he must have nodded his head in agreement. Joseph wakes up to his new reality, husband to Mary, and the stepdad of baby Jesus. No Joseph Jr., yet he is obedient, a silent partner who didn't confuse a pipe dream with a prophecy, answering the call to bear witness.
Hey, Lord. Sometimes I feel like a feather in the air. Sometimes I feel like a feather in the air.